between Risa and Barney. David, you can go all the way to the end, and then Joe, you'll be next to Barney.
All right. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good morning. Thank you for joining us for a very special announcement, and let's get right to it. First, I'd like to introduce the owner of Furniture Row Racing, Barney Visser. Barney, Furniture Row Racing has clinched a Chase playoff berth for the third time in 4 years. Quite an accomplishment for a single-car team based in Denver, Colorado. And with the success you've enjoyed, I know you've been repeatedly asked about adding a second car. And from what we're hearing, you won't be getting that question very much anymore.
No, we've heard it quite a bit. It could stop now. We're very excited to have all the components of a second race team pulled together here. It's all come together in the last month. And, you know, to find a driver like Erik and a sponsor like 5 Hour Energy, along with our technical agreement with Gibbs, we think we're going to be able to run right up where we need to run. We're very excited to finally get it all pulled together here.
Thank you, Barney. We'd also like to welcome Risa Meguiar, Vice President of Living Essentials, the parent company of 5 Hour Energy. Risa, what made you to decide to partner with Furniture Row Racing as the primary sponsor for Erik Jones in 2017?
Well, they came to us and presented the program for Erik. I've been watching Erik and seen his talent in both series, and we have watched what Furniture Row has done with the cars that, or the car that they have, and we just felt that it was going to be a good place for us to be. It was just a really good fit.
Excellent. Also like to welcome Erik Jones, current NASCAR Xfinity Series championship contender. Erik, this is obviously a monumental day in your racing career. What are your thoughts about your future racing with Furniture Row Racing, 5 Hour Energy, and Toyota in NASCAR's Premier Series?
Well, it's hard to say I'm not excited, but anxious at the same time. You know, I was anxious for this day and just excited to be here. It's pretty cool for me to be partnered up with Furniture Row and be a part of them growing, and along with 5 Hour too, to have such a big company like that be partnered with me is pretty cool for me this early in my racing career, and something that I've always wanted. So just a good fit all around. I feel like, you know, I've had the chance to kind of meet with everybody and get everything lined up, and to see it all come together here over the past month or so has been a pretty cool experience for me. Definitely want to, you know, got a lot to do this year yet, but definitely excited for next year.
Thanks, Erik. Also like to welcome David Wilson, President of Toyota Racing Development USA. David, what's it been like to watch Erik mature and grow under the Toyota banner, and now to see him ascend to NASCAR's Premier Series with the Toyota team, and to simultaneously help one of your teams grow?
Well, obviously, Toyota and TRD are very happy for Erik Jones and for our partners at Furniture Row Racing. But I think a day like today, you have to put in perspective. I mean, think about this. It was less than 4 years ago that Erik Jones, famously now, beat Kyle Busch in the Snowball Derby Super Late Model race. Last year, Erik won his first NASCAR championship with Kyle Busch Motorsports. This year, obviously, Erik is fighting for an Xfinity Series championship with Joe Gibbs Racing. And so next year, for him to ascend to the Cup Series with Furniture Row Racing is a spectacular story. 3 different teams in 3 consecutive years. And Toyota is the fortunate and grateful common denominator in that equation. But the underlying point is that we wouldn't be sitting up here today were it not for the tremendous partnership that Toyota enjoys with our partners, Kyle Busch Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, Furniture Row Racing. I think Kyle or Erik ascending to the Cup level, you know, for Toyota, this is the first time a Toyota driver has grown from the grassroots ranks all the way through NASCAR's National Series. So it's I think it's a great story for Toyota, but probably a greater story for NASCAR and the future of our sport.
Thanks, David. I'd also like to hear from the driver of the number 78, Furniture Row Racing Toyota, Martin Truex Jr. Martin, can you speak about the growth of Furniture Row Racing and what it means to add a second team and a driver like Erik Jones to your organization?
Yeah, obviously everybody's, I think, really excited about this. I think that, to see, we've heard Barney and Joe talk for the last few years really about expanding someday and wanting to get bigger and wanting to grow. So obviously a huge day for those guys, and just really excited to be a part of that. I know a lot of things had to come together. Toyota and the JGR Alliance, all those things have been wonderful for us, and now I feel like those things all coming together, allowing us to do a second car, kind of helps keep those relationships strong, helps us build those for the future, and really I think bodes well for the future of Furniture Row Racing. So looking forward to that. Hopefully it's something I'll be able to be a part of for a long, long time. Excited to work with Erik. Obviously a great talent, has all the right people behind him to be successful in this sport, and I look forward to hopefully teaching him a thing or two along the way.
Thank you, Martin. Finally, I'd like to welcome the president of Furniture Row Racing, Joe Garone. Joe, how does adding a second team change the day-to-day operations for you?
Well, it certainly increases the workload, that's for sure. This is, as Martin said, this is something we've been thinking about for a while, and we've already started modifying our shop to be able to accommodate the extra cars and extra work, and starting to talk to the workforce, looking at personnel, potential new hires. We're just really excited about it. And truthfully, Martin has said a lot of the things I wanted to say, but we wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for the performance that Martin's put on the racetrack, and in addition to that, the great partnerships that we have with Joe Gibbs and Toyota, and now having a great sponsor in 5 Hour. All of this has just come together at the right time, so we're just really excited about it.
Thank you, Joe. Thank all of you. Now we'll take a few questions, but before we do that, I want to let our media know that following the brief Q&A period, you're invited to attend the car unveiling at the Toyota Pit Pass, which is in the Watkins Glen International Midway. That'll happen at approximately 10:40 a.m., and there will be golf cart shuttles available in front of the media center to transport you there. So that'll be right after a brief Q&A period, and we'll start here up front with Claire B. Lang.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Barney, what sort of an undertaking to add another team, knowing Erik will be rising and going likely back to Joe Gibbs Racing? How long will he be around? How much investment do you make in the company? What's the future of that second team? What are your thoughts about what it will take to add that second team?
Well, it's going to take a lot of effort, like Joe said, to add the second team. We've got a contract with Erik for 1 year, and we hope to make that many more. So we hope to run him as long as we can. We'll see what he gets done out there. That Joe has already talked about what's going to go on in the shop. We're getting ready for that. The shop can easily handle 2 cars, and we think we're going to be more efficient per car running 2 cars. But that all remains to be seen. But we've been sort of preparing for this for a long time.
We'll go to Holly Kane and then Lee Spencer.
Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. Joe, I wanted to ask you, or whoever wants to take this, I guess, what about crew chief? Have you gotten that far along, even kind of where things are for that?
We really haven't. It's early. We've certainly looking to see, what the best fits would be in starting that process, but there's a lot of those kinds of things ahead of us, and we'll start tackling that after this announcement.
We'll go over here to Lee Spencer.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Congratulations, everybody. What's the status as far as getting a charter, or have you looked into getting a charter for this team for next season, Barney?
Yeah, there's several charters out there that we're hearing are available. We haven't. We've been looking at it some. and we're not sure exactly where we're going to be on that. We are going to get a charter, but we're not sure who we're going to get it from yet.
Do you have any additional questions here? We'll go to Jerry Jordan and then Zach.
Jerry Jordan, Performance Racing Network, kicking the tires. Joe, for you guys and also Barney, to take this team from where it started off with and to where it is now, can you just talk about the accomplishments overall and the partners you've had through the years to bring it to the level that you are now, where you can not only have a very successful one team, but expand to a two-car operation?
Well, really, it goes into the very beginning when we started Furniture Row, and then just gradually have ramped it up and built the relationships that what we felt that we've needed to be able to be successful. And that comes back to Barney's commitment to invest in the team and our sponsors that Barney's brought to the table at Denver Mattress and Furniture Row over all these years. And to be able to finally get to where we have a platform that will support multi-cars is huge. And it's at the sacrifice of a lot of hours and a lot of hard work from a lot of people. And again, we're just really excited to be at this platform right now.
We'll stay there to Zach.
Second hand's ready, front stretch. Erik, you ran a few races last year in a Toyota in the Cup Series, so how much are you going to feed off of that experience that you got, and how do you think it's going to be different being full-time next year?
Well, it was a big learning curve for me doing those few Cup races. The one thing was obviously a totally different aero package from then to what I'm going to be driving there next year, but I always felt like we had decent speed, but a lot of it was putting the whole race together and all the little things and what you would call special teams, I guess. Green flag stops and making sure you're hitting all those things right was the hardest part for me. So going to be a lot of that and learning that and getting better at that stuff, and that's things I've been trying to work on and get better at this year. But there's a lot of things that I can take from those few races. I think that I'm going to be able to work on some more, and like I said, I've been working on some this year, but a big learning curve for sure. It's a big jump. You're going from a field where 10 to 12 cars can win to a field where 20 cars can win, and all those guys are extremely talented. So definitely going to be tough, but I think I'm in the best situation to succeed.
We're going to take one from Chris Knight right here in the front, please.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Joe, is there any chance that we might see a second car in select races near the end of the season so you guys don't have to fully unload at Daytona next year?
I think right now the focus is for Erik is on what he's trying to accomplish this year, and we haven't really gotten into any deep discussions about anything like that right now.
Excellent. We'll go ahead and wrap up. Lee, you have one more? We'll take one more from Lee, and then we'll finish up.
Lee Spencer, motorsport.com. Erik, you had mentioned before how you like the added speed. We were listening to talk radio on the way in here this morning. They said, what makes you guys think that Erik's ready for this jump? But I think you've said in plenty of interviews you really like the additional speed. And can you tell fans out there why you think you're ready to make this move?
Well, I don't know if at any point in your career if you're totally ready to make that move, but like I said, I felt like last year I learned a lot in the few starts that I made. And at the end of the day, I'm as ready as I can be. At some point you got to make that jump, and you're going to sink or swim. And like I said, I think I'm in the best situation to hopefully swim and be successful at it. So there's going to be a lot to learn for sure, and there's going to be ups and downs throughout the year. But I think at the end of it all, we're going to be in a good position, and I think we'll be able to have speed at it and hopefully be competitive throughout the year.
Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for sharing this news with us. Best of luck today and going forward.
I know. Sometimes it feels that way, right?
Well, I guess I want to jump off.